welcome to Love Connection. And now here's our host, Pat Fuller.
Hey! Oh! Thank you so much. Good crowd. All right. Let's get started by meeting our first guest. He wishes that the women he dates were more like him. He claims that he prefers a woman with a foul mouth, and he complains that his roommates interfere with his social life. Please welcome Dave Warden. Hi, Dave. How are you? Have a seat. Thanks for coming back. We met Dave yesterday and ran out of time. Tell me, how do your roommates ruin things for you?
They're just really crazy guys, and you never know what they're going to be up to when you walk in the door. They could be doing like voodoo cult worship or burning the furniture or just going crazy. And they all have an affinity for my dates. So, you know, I try and...
so they're just typical roommates, really, is what they are.
Basically.
And why do you want a foul-mouthed woman?
Well, basically, a girl is not afraid to tell a dirty joke. That's a real turn-on for me because she doesn't care about what people think about her. You know, she just wants to have a good time and get wild with it.
Yeah, and how is it you want a woman to be like you?
Well, I'm just very decisive, and I have lots of vision, and I know what I want out of the moment and out of the long run. So I'm just basically looking for a woman who knows really what she wants.
All right, let's remind everyone what happened yesterday. Our studio audience saw Dave's three choices, and they voted for one. Let's take a look at all three again. First, it was Eden. Her hobbies include knitting, painting, and playing piano. Then there was Heather. She has one tattoo on her hip and another on her toe. And finally, Nicole. She's looking for a man who can match his belt to his shoes. The audience vote was recorded yesterday, and we'll get to that a little later, of course. But Dave, remind us who you chose.
I chose Nicole.
Nicole, all right, and she's with us. Let's say hello to Nicole Fisher. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Dave.
How are you?
Thanks for being here. Dave, tell us about your date.
Well, it started out for me really bad because it was like Murphy's Law was in effect. The florist screwed up my order of flowers, so I was going down there without flowers. I'd fallen asleep with my contacts in the night before, so I couldn't wear my contacts. And I had to wear a pair of glasses that I'd only had for one day, so they hadn't been field tested yet. And basically, I just ran into some really, really nasty traffic on the way down, and it took me a long time to get down there.
So not going well before the date. How were things for you before the date? How were you feeling, Nicole?
Well, you know how people deal with their stress in different ways? I tend to throw up, and I threw up about 5 or 6 times before he ever showed up. So I was just not well.
Yeah. Well, that gives you that foul mouth you're looking for. Now, things weren't going well for Dave. Did he seem like he was in a bad mood when he showed up, Nicole?
Yeah. I was standing in my apartment window, and I kind of looked down, and I saw him coming through, and he just looked angry, and I was kind of like, uh-oh. So I finally, when I saw him starting to leave my apartment complex, I went running after him. All
right, so you hooked up, and what happened next, Dave?
Well, I was basically in a real bad mood, all road raged out. But pretty much when I saw her, it all changed. You know, just a classic beauty, and I was taken aback by her angelic visage.
So you liked the way she looked. How did Dave look to you, Nicole?
Oh, I thought he was adorable. He just looked like a big teddy bear, and I just wanted to give him a big hug.
Oh, all right. So you're off to a good start, Dave, and then what happened?
We drove back up to LA, stopped by an art show really quick, and then went out for a couple of drinks. And we sat down, and it seemed like we were only talking for like 15, 20 minutes. Next thing we know, 3 hours has gone by. And so we had a lot to talk about, and basically at that point, I invited her back to my place so that we could go change clothes for alternate activities in the evening.
All right, so she was going back to your place. Then what happened, Dave?
Well, basically, I was out trying to get new reservations because we'd missed our old reservations, and I walked into my room, and she just changed, and she was wearing this really hot black lace thing, and the background material is flesh-colored. So for a split second, I thought she was just like wearing like a lace teddy or something. So I was like, oh, you know, and I had to do a double take there really quick. But
the gods are smiling on me. And she wasn't. So what happened then, Dave?
Basically, after that, we went out for a quick dinner, and then we went to a club in Hollywood, and it was kind of a yuppie crowd, lots of poser guys, lots of silicone girls, and but it was nice because that made her natural beauty that much more radiant. You know, she looked really good compared to the crowd.
Good. All right, so you picked a nice club, and you were getting along well. Then what?
I'd finally relaxed enough and got up enough courage to ask her to dance. And we started dancing, and she was just blowing up. You know, she's a dance instructor, and she was just going off. So I was like, you know, the world needs to see this. So I grabbed her by the hand and dragged her up on the stage, which was empty, and we just basically performed for the whole place.
Oh, wow. All right. So we know that you were a good dancer, Nicole, but how was Dave?
He was absolutely hilarious. He really can keep a beat, though. That was quite impressive.
Hey, way to go, Dave.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
I glanced over at him, and the face on him, it was hilarious. He's all making these expressions like... I lost it right there. I could not keep a straight face any longer.
Do you want to demonstrate a little of that for us, Dave? There it is. Oh, yeah. All right. Dave, if anyone asks you to demonstrate again, just don't do it. Okay?
Good call.
Say you'd rather not.
Good call.
But the dancing went well, and then what happened?
Basically, we closed the joint. They were turning off the music, and the bouncers were chasing us out of there. And we rolled out onto the street, and I was just really pumped from dancing, and she just looked really good, so I had to kiss her at that point.
Oh, all right. Well, that obviously sounds like a romantic moment. Was it for you, Nicole?
Yeah, it started off great until this homeless guy came up and started haggling us and oh, it was bizarre.
So a romantic moment kind of interrupted by a homeless guy.
Yeah, party crasher.
All right. So then what happened, Dave?
Pretty much, it was getting really late, and we had to drive a long way, so I drove her home.
All right, good. So you drove home, you get to her place. Now, was there a good night kiss, Nicole?
Yes, there was, and it was really sweet. It was really nice. I was really excited about it, so.
Oh, good. So it had a
Very
nice
welcome.
ending. Let's find out how the audience voted. Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. More than half thought Nicole was the girl for you, Dave. And the way this works, if you would like to see Nicole go out on another date, we'd be happy to pay for it.
Absolutely.
You would,
Absolutely.
all right. And what do you think, Nicole?
I would love to.
Good. Come on out and say hi to Dave. Hi, how are you? Have a seat. Thanks for being with us. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad things worked out, and I'm glad you had a good date. Can I recommend one thing?
What's that?
Dancing, Tiger. We're going to take a break. We're right back with another couple after this.